Mario once again with MIA Microflight, and this is my fifth building for the miniature 1/76 scale turbo racing track layout that I've been showing in some other videos. Fifth building I just completed installing the windows, and I'm about to install the lights, and that should be ready to be installed on the 4x8 sheet of plywood, which is going to or foam board, which is going to house all the track and all these elements that I've been showing, these extras, buildings, trees, bridges, etc. I wanted to deviate from the traditional just rectangular buildings, and I went with this particular sort of angled building, because the layout that as I designed it for the track, had a spot on one area that had the room for a sort of triangular building, and so that's how I arrived at this particular shape here. The building is very simple, as are the other buildings, just to keep everything simple, elegant, and easy to assemble. The frames are 3D printed in sections. They need to be assembled, but they interlock at the corners, so it's easier for the building to be assembled, and also it's easier for the building to retain itself in that particular shape once the sides are assembled. Once the sides are assembled, then the windows are installed next, then the roof, and the same thing with the second level. It's done in the same similar steps following the first level here. I still need to add a couple additional details, and that's the framing for the doors here. You can see here that those this awning here that this building has at 3 locations has the doors which are a little bit recessed. That door framing is a little bit recessed, and that's to allow for the additional framing, which is done in gray. My first building was done with red, the garage building, but this one, all these buildings that I've been showing, item or building 2 to 5, they have the framing for the doors in gray, to match the rest of the roof, and also this, which would be the base. The base also has provisions for exit holes here for allowing the wiring to be routed from the building, depending where the strips of LED lights end up. So that's why I have multiple locations, so that it's easier to route the wiring out of the building, depending where the light strips, where the final point ends up, where it's connected to the power supply. This is a building, it's a little bit larger than the other ones, and it adds a nice balance to the layout of the track. It's as it opposes, or it's in opposite direction of the other buildings. This one's more on the west side, the other ones are towards the east side, or rather the reverse. The other ones are towards the east, from the orientation of the drawing that I have on my in my other videos showing the CAD model. But this one is this is actually the east side of the layout building. This one has a pond, which I show in some other video, which goes on this side right here, and it'll be, once this is assembled on the 8x4 board for the track, it'll be also it'll be complemented with trees and greenery and bushes that I've been showing also in my other videos. So I like to capture this also on video, as I've been doing with all the other elements of my turbo racing track. I know the turbo racing track is, the turbo racers came out a few years back, and I think there was a frenzy when they first came out because they're so cute and they're real radio control, full proportional control on those cars. So they're very precise in control. I stumbled on these little cars, 3 years later after the fact. So this may seem a little bit after the fact, but it doesn't matter because those cars are still for sale, and you can still get them. And I think a lot of people are still playing with them. Of course, when I got them just to see what they were about, and once I found out how well they perform and how well they're able to maneuver, with the controllers that they come with the little cars. I got bitten by the bug, and I said, I have to build a track for this. I gotta go the extra mile, just go all the way. I started looking at some of the tracks on some of the YouTube videos. There's quite a number of people that have done tracks, but they're, even though some of those tracks are very nice, and kudos to people that have been doing putting the time and making them more organic. My track is a little more, it's less organic in the sense that it's because of the 3D printed items that I'm using. A lot of people just take a board and then they start laying foam, and just carving the foam. And I didn't want to go that route because, number one, it's very there's a lot of work involved in that, and so I wanted to speed up the process. And the only way to do that is to do it with 3D printed items. And so I embarked on doing all these buildings, and the trees, the foliage. You can see that in my other videos. I finally locked up on the method to do the foliage. I was playing around with my own methods and a lot of experimentation that has gone into them. And so I locked up on my own method, kind of married with some old traditional methods of assembling trees with sponge flake, which is basically just sponge material grounded, using a grinder, a coffee grinder. I show in my other video a method to go one step further and get it a much finer ground from the flake that I was using, that I was making using a grinder, a coffee grinder. I found this clothes shaver, a tool that is designed to shave the lint and fuzziness of clothing. And so I stumbled on one of those machines, and I bought one of those, and I showed that in my other video how I am achieving even finer flake with that tool. So check out those videos if you're interested in that sort of stuff. And from this, I am printing what I'm calling the sixth building, which is just a glass underpass or tunnel that I show as part of my other buildings in my layout on my turbo racing track layout in CAD. So if you've seen that video, you can see that there's a glass underpass there, or a tunnel that goes from one building, the hexagon shaped building, to the other rectangular buildings that are on the west side of the layout. And so I'm working on that right now, and the parts should be printed in a few minutes. They should be completed, and then I'm going to be assembling that, and you'll see that in my next video. So stay tuned for more.